So one big topic that's always been sweeping around Wuthering Waves, especially since version 2.0, has been whether the addition of male characters to Wuthering Waves is going to be a benefit or a detriment to the game, and honestly I think a lot of people are under the opinion that it's going to be a big benefit, because obviously there's a lot of people who want a mix of characters and a mixed cast whenever it comes to playable characters, and we've seen, you know, characters like Brant actually do really well in the space, and also better than some female characters that have actually come out recently. But just the other day I actually stumbled across a couple of posts which actually kind of surprised me, which is mainly to do with the new 5-star that's come out in version 2.2, which is Cantarella. Now Cantarella has been a massive talking point. I'm pretty sure she's one of the main reasons why version 2.2 is doing so well, because their trailer caught a lot of attention and her character design obviously caught a lot of attention too. But it seems like some Wuthering Waves players, especially a lot of these male enjoyers, don't actually like this at all, and they're actually, you know, doing stuff like boycotting the game and also leaving, which again is absolutely crazy. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also go to GameStop, use my code CASA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. They got this event going on at the moment, so yeah, go over there, use my code CASA, get 10% off, and yeah, let's get back into the video. So this was actually over on the Reddit called r/wuwa husbandos. Now I think you can kind of guess what goes on in this Reddit. It's pretty much a Wuthering Waves Reddit solely focused on the male characters of the game. Now obviously, you know, this person actually makes this post saying, I'm boycotting. They say, basically, starting tomorrow until April 29th, I will refuse to play the game. I want to give Kuro one last chance to fix that, because I missed the closed beta game we lost, and seeing all the genuinely amazing character designs we lost, contrasting the addict Kokomi ripoff Kuro is currently parading around, is just tragic. Now obviously this is kind of crazy. I think a lot of people have been really enjoying Cantarella's design, and I think that's why a lot of people come over, but obviously this is going to get rid of a lot of the audience that doesn't like that kind of stuff. Now will you know, a Cantarella type character be the character for every single, you know, update that's coming out for Wuthering Waves? No. You know, it's just a one-off, and I'm pretty sure, you know, Wuthering Waves isn't going down that route where every single character has to be like that, but they are going to release one every now and again, I'm pretty sure, just due to the fact that, you know, it sells well and it gets a lot of attention. Like, I mean, you know, even if you don't like those kind of character designs, I think it's kind of hard to disagree that Cantarella is definitely going to sell well, and that she's definitely caught the attention of a lot of people, and that's great for the game. And I think, you know, if it works for the game, then it works for the game. Obviously, there's plenty of games out there that have fan service that don't do as good and never actually really go anywhere because they don't do the right kind of advertising, and the game itself isn't good in the first place, whereas Wuthering Waves has something a little bit different, where the game is actually good, which will keep people sticking around, and obviously they're working on other things as well, which will improve, you know, player quality of life and stuff like that. Now obviously this person below says, I won't be boycotting, as I've learned it doesn't really work in these types of games. I will however be switching to husbando only pools in all gachas until it's fixed, and uninstalling if it doesn't. The treatment of women in these games by dangling a hot man and then nothing more for months, or their kits suck, is horrendous, and if it still gets to me too much, then I'll uninstall. Which again is kind of crazy, because obviously they say the treatment of women in these games, but then they go on to say, oh well, I want a really hot man in my game that's like doing all this stuff. I'm pretty sure, you know, we've had this debate before in a previous video. I think we can both have characters that are male and female that do have a lot of fan service, and you know, it seems like these people are very one-sided in saying, oh, they treat women so terribly, but it's okay if they do it to men, because, you know, men, they don't matter, and you know, I like men, so you know, they can continue doing it, and they need to do it more. Actually, they need to do it more. But with women, no. Oh god, no, I'll boycott, I'll leave. Which again, it's just so weird, and I guess like hypocritical in a way, because again, you know, you're not allowing it for one side, which is just so weird. And obviously this person says, also switch to free to play for wuwa, because the misogyny with characters like Cantarella and Camellia is disgusting. I've been free to play since day one. I don't really know how there is any kind of misogyny in Wuthering Waves for Cantarella and Camellia in particular. I mean, I'm trying to think of any examples, but I'm honestly not seeing it. Now, yes, are they very fan servicey? Of course, and I feel like that is a big kind of, you know, reason behind it. But in terms of misogyny and actually treating them badly, in the sense of like in the story or anything like that, I don't think I've seen any of it. Obviously, Cantarella is literally the head of the Phasalia family in the story, which, you know, I don't feel like that's misogyny. I feel like, you know, she's the one in charge. But again, I feel like there isn't any misogyny in the game. Like, again, if you want to see these characters as, you know, having fan service being misogyny, then sure. But obviously these people won't say the same for like Love and Deep Space, or a character like Brad, who's literally got his entire chest out. You know, I don't think it's really weird that, you know, some of these people do just make up these random kind of, I guess, situations in their mind that, you know, this kind of stuff is going on, because it's not, you know, it's really not that big of a deal. And, you know, I totally get if people don't want to pull for Cantarella, and that people, you know, because she doesn't have a great kit in the first place. Let's be real. You know, she doesn't do that much damage, although to be fair, she's been great for me with my Jinchi. But again, you know, not everyone has to pull for Cantarella, and you can always just move on to the next character. You know, that is the whole point of a gacha game, is that you're able to skip the banner, and if you want to, you know, and just put on the character that's coming out next, which again, I feel like, you know, this is blown way too out of proportion, especially for these people. Now, obviously, there's another post as well, obviously discussing male fan service versus female fan service, which was very interesting. And obviously this has 200 upvotes. By the way, the last post had about 105 upvotes. The person deleted their account and the post got locked, which was kind of crazy. Now, obviously, this says discussion. After watching Cantarella's trailer, people who are saying lads and brand drinking is considering fan service no longer has room to criticize them. What? Okay, this is kind of crazy. So they're saying that people that watched the Cantarella trailer and thought it was good, and the fan service in it was good, don't have any room whenever it comes to talking about the lads game in general, or brand. That's kind of crazy, because again, you know, obviously we've talked about this before with the whole Love and Deep Space situation, where pretty much people in the Love and Deep Space community were denying the fact that there was a lot of fan service in their game, and that, you know, it was pretty much a Guna game. That was the main thing that they were saying. And, you know, a lot of these Love and Deep Space players are saying, no, it's not, no, it doesn't, no, that doesn't exist, which again wasn't the case at all. You know, it's very clear as day that it is. And I think a lot of these people have this kind of frame of mind that they think they're saying our game's a Guna game, but they're not saying theirs is. No, we totally get it, okay? We're not the ones that are in denial whenever it comes to playing some of these games. Now, I don't think Wuthering Waves has gone fully Guna. I feel like, you know, obviously, yes, there are some characters like Cantarella which go very, very far, but it's not something like Xenozone Zero. It's not something like Nikkei or Azure Lane or something where every single character is like that, which again, you know, I don't think that is the case at all. Whereas a game like Love and Deep Space, you know, it's just guys constantly coming up to you, and you know, you go on little dates with them, you talk with them and everything like that. You know, we all know what Love and Deep Space is like, but a lot of these people seem to be very much in denial whenever it comes to talking about the actual themes of this game. They keep going on saying Cantarella's video actually showed us an animation where she seductively eats a cherry that rivals Jane Doe's apple and get booba shot as she dodges. How does this compare to Brant drinking? He just drinks a glass and only drops of liquid fall on his chest. No camera shot where we see that drop going down his chest and into his shirt, which again, I think that's not the end of the world. I think the Brant one is a totally mute point. I mean, I don't think that's much fan service. There's a little bit there for some people, I guess. Some people would like that, but again, it wasn't like one of these kind of, you know, like the Cantarella moment where it would actually like kind of stick out to a lot of people. But obviously they say the same thing with lads. There's spicy moments, but it's spicy moments that make sense for the context surrounding the story. Like, brother, do you hear what you're saying here? You're saying, oh, but it's okay in Love and Deep Space because it makes sense around the context. Like, what? I feel like Cantarella's makes sense in the context too. That is her character. That is her personality. That is how she literally, you know, that's how she's made as a character. And you're saying, oh, but it's still a Love and Deep Space, and it's not even fan service in Love and Deep Space because, you know, there's context, you know? We've got extra context. That means it's technically not fan service, which is just like, brother, like seriously, we're doing this kind of mental gymnastics whenever it comes to like, is my game a Guna game or not? Now, obviously, this person goes, they say last event was very misleading as the whole concept was had the guys having a mutation, and when they don't have control of themselves, it reduces to a dangerous state where they can harm the MC and player can get a bad ending. Which again, I think that's kind of dumb. It's just like, oh, but the guys were gonna like freak out if you didn't like, you know, kiss them and stuff. It's like, brother, what? It's a game. Of course, the actual developers designed the game to be like that so that, you know, these kind of scenes would happen. What? You're like, oh no, they had to because it was part of the story. Like, what? This is so weird. They say, I don't hate Cantarella being fan service as I do plan on getting her when she does release, but the denial is fan service, and saying Brant's fan service is the same as Cantarella's fan service is disingenuous, which I do agree with. I think Brant's fan service is completely different, but I think adding that extra point about Love and Deep Space in there was completely deranged and so weird, because I was like, what? No, like, just because it has context doesn't mean that it's any different to Cantarella's or anything like that. But hey, who cares? Honestly, at the end of the day, these people are mainly in denial, and there's a lot of people like us who, you know when to say, oh, this has got a lot of fan service or this doesn't. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are in denial whenever it comes to a lot of this kind of stuff, which is funny to see. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the situation as a whole. Do you think that these people are right in what they're saying, or do you think that they're wrong? I honestly think that they are wrong in a lot of these points, but yeah. I'm not saying this is every single husbando joy, by the way. I think that there's a lot of great husbando joys out there, especially as well content creators that, you know, like a lot of husbandos. I feel like this group is just a minority in terms of their opinion. So again, you know, just take this with a grain of salt and everything like that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also go to GameStop, get 10% off. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.